What's up, everybody? My name is Gab, and you're watching the Yoga Mārga channel. And today we're going to be going through a very special practice. See, recently, Serenity and I went on a trip to India, and we got to meet Sri BNS Iyengar, who is the oldest living teacher of Ashtanga Yoga. He's a direct student of Krishnamacharya, and we were really blessed to have an opportunity to learn a very specific form of the primary series that he teaches. And today, I'm going to be sharing this with you all. We're going to be doing this practice together. Now, if you would like to see the full practice and go through a year-long journey, an introduction into Guruji's BNS Iyengar's primary series and his method of Ashtanga Yoga, join our Yoga Mārga co-op. You're going to see a link below in this description where you can join and get a free week trial. But we're meeting every Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific time to go over this sequence and to learn this very specific method of pranayama. So if you're interested in learning more about Ashtanga Yoga or just learning more about the connection between yoga, Buddhism, mindfulness, and elevate your own personal practice, then follow along and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're getting any value from this. Now, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start first by doing nali kriya. So in nali kriya, we're going to start standing. You're going to exhale all the air out of your body, and we're going to bring our hands to our inner thighs and press left and right. And what we're doing is learning how to develop control of the muscles in our belly so that we can improve our digestion, begin to cleanse and energize our core, and really activate energetic centers in our belly. It's a very powerful practice, great for digestion, and something that you definitely want to practice on an empty stomach. So if you've already eaten within the past hour or so, I would suggest maybe skipping the next couple of minutes of this video. I'll demonstrate this first, and then we'll try it together. So we start by taking a breath in, and as you exhale, squeeze the belly in towards your spine, hollow out the belly, and then we press side to side. We do that about 10 times. Stand up, catch your breath. And then we'll do that again. Exhale all the way through. And I'm lifting my shirt just so you can see my belly, right? I'm squeezing my belly in. And then press left to right. Coming to standing. Deep breath in. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale all the way through. Coming to standing. Do that 2 more times. Breath in. And breath out. And as you exhale, squeeze the belly in. Okay, last one. Breath in. And breath out. Coming to standing. Catching your breath, finding your breath. And then from here, hands by your sides, close your eyes, and just begin to breathe. Coming to standing at the top of our mat, palms by your sides. Inhale, we begin. Extended Tadasana, arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hinge from your hips as you lower down. Inhale, rise halfway. And exhale, step or hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows glute out your sides. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift your knees and your gaze. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now, yogis, we take 5 breaths in this shape. A breath is a full inhale and a full exhale. Okay, breath in, heels high. Travel to the top of your space, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Inhale, rise all the way through, arms up. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands to prayer by your sides. Now, traditionally, Ashtanga Yoga is taught with a number system. 1, 2, 3. There's 10 postures that we move through in our Sun A and 18 postures that we move to in our Sun B. I'm going to teach this in a more vinyasa style, so I'm going to be cueing more, giving a little bit more adjustments and suggestions than the traditional Ashtanga class. And then as we progress through this series, you're going to memorize the sequence and we'll be able to flow through it by just calling 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So let's see what that feels like. And again, move at your own pace. Inhale, 1, extended Tadasana, arms overhead. Exhale, 2, Uttanasana, forward folds. With the breath in, inhale, 3, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, 4, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, 5. Exhale, 6, downward facing dog. And we take just a few breaths. 5 breaths to be exact in this shape. Breathing is going all the way down to your hips, expanding through your belly. And with the breath out, slight bend through your knees as you press your chest closer to your thighs, driving through your fingertips on the ground. So from 6, we go inhale, 7, halfway lift. Exhale, 8, forward fold. Inhale, 9, extended Tadasana. Gaze up. Exhale, Samastitihi, 10. Those are the 10 movements, the 10 asanas, and the Sun A of our primary series. So let's try that one more time. Inhale, extended Tadasana, 1. Exhale, 2, folds. Inhale, 3, halfway. Exhale, fold, step or hop back. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 6. And breathe here, yogis. The challenge for you today is to maintain Ujjayi Pranayama as we move through this practice. In and out through your nose. Lips are sealed. Soft bend through the elbows. Soft bend through the knees. Continue to drive your belly towards your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. 7. Straight spine. Exhale, 8. Folds. Inhale, 9. Arms up. Exhale, 10. Release by your sides. So now transitioning into our Sun B. Sun B flow. Inhale, chair pose Utkatasana. 1. Gaze up. Exhale, 2. Folds. Hinge from your hips, lower down. Inhale, 3. Rise halfway. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low push. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, from here, inhale, warrior 1. Right foot leads the way first. Left heel down to the ground. Inhale as you rise, arms overhead. Recommit to the bend in the front knee. Gaze up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low push-up. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, inhale, left leg leads the way. We want to find heel to heel alignment here for most bodies. You can always go a little bit wider with your front foot. Left knee in line with your ankle as you rise. Generous bend through that front leg as you gaze in the middle of the place where your palms touch. And on the exhale, we fold once again, yogis, all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, halfway lift at the top of your mat. Straight spine. Lift your head. Exhale, folds. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, you rise and release. So now, let's flow through our Sun B 2 more times today. Standing on your mat. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, folds. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, step or hop back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, warrior one. Right arm rises. Left arm rises. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Moving with the breath. Exhale on the way down. Breath in on the way up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1 on the left. Arms overhead. Gaze. Exhale, all the way down, bowing to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful yogis. Breath in, halfway lift. And folds. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. Right, so now let's count through our 18 postures. Take a moment, find your breath. Let's begin. 1, chair pose, breath. 2, forward. Inhale, 3, halfway lift. Exhale, 4, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, 5, upward facing dog. Exhale, 6, downward facing dog. Inhale, 7, Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, 8, lower down. Inhale, 9. Exhale, 10. Inhale, 11. Back to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, 12. All the way down. Inhale, 13. Exhale, 14. Inhale, 15, halfway rise. Exhale, 16. Fold. 17, chair pose, breath in. And 18, you stand. Great job, yogis. Now, from here, step your left foot to the side. Take a breath in as you send your gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, we fold. Padangusthasana. Hands can come to the big toes. Keep a little bend through your knees as you shift the weight forward. So make sure that your hips are not back here, but that you're leaning as far forward as you can. Look in between your legs. You can shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Bend through your arms. Gentle breaths here. Inhale, you rise halfway, hands to the hips. And exhale, come all the way to standing. Back to our Tadasana. Hands by your sides. Okay, let's try that again. Feet hip width distance apart, yogis. Take a breath in, gaze up. Exhale, fold. Padahastasana this time. Hands underneath the soles of the feet. Palms making contact with the soles of the feet. Little bend through the arms, little bend through the knees as you shift forward. Your hands should be so far into your feet that you should be able to wiggle and massage your wrists with your toes. Let the head be heavy. Relax the back of your neck. Breathe. And after 5 breathings, we release the hands. Inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale as you rise all the way through. Tadasana. Okay, now we step to the side. And this time, bring your left foot back. Left foot in line, left heel in line with the right heel. Once you find this, both legs extended, take a breath in, arms up. Exhale, we reach down. Utthita Trikonasana. Now for here, we bring right hand to the outside of your right foot. Gaze follows your left thumb. Soft bend through the knees, and I want you to imagine twisting your heart up towards the sky. And then imagine like I'm grabbing your wrist and pulling you up towards the ceiling. Breathe through those sensations. We hold this for 5 breathings, 5 breaths. All right, yogis, inhale as you slowly rise, come to standing. And on the exhale, you're going to switch sides. Utthita Trikonasana on the opposite side. Back heel is parallel to the front of the mat this time. Front foot, or back foot now is pointed towards the back. Hinge from your hips and we go down. Left hand this time on the outside of your left foot. Soft, little tiny bend through the leading leg as you twist up towards the sky. Press through the big toe on your left and right foot to feel your core and your root engage with the ground as you reach with your right hand up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Okay, yogis, we come out the same way you came in. Inhale, you rise. And exhale, back to our Tadasana at the top of our mat. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Stepping left foot back, all the way back. Heel to heel alignment. Legs, arms are extended. Deep breath in as you find length through your spine. And on the exhale, we twist Pavrita Trikonasana. This time, left hand to the outside of the right foot as you bring right arm up towards the sky. Now here, yogis, we want to make sure that you're pressing to the knife edge of your back foot. We're rooted through both heels as you send the gaze up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And a breath out. Inhale as you slowly rise. And exhale as you switch sides. Right away, we windshield wiper the arms all the way down. Windmill the arms, rather. Right hand to the outside of the left foot. Gaze follows the left thumb. And breathe. Inhale, you rise. And exhale, coming back to standing on your mat. Okay, beautiful work. Now let's find ourselves back. Left foot comes back again, heel to heel alignment. Once you find this deep bend through your right leg. You might need to widen your stance. Tee out your arms, breath in, and on the exhale, Utthita Parsvakotasana. Now I want you to find this long length through your fingertips out through the knife edge of your back foot. Generous bend through your front knee, and we're twisting up towards the sky. Hold here, 5. Inhale, you rise. And switch sides. Find this generous bend. You want to maintain heel to heel alignment. And then you fold into the shape. Big generous bend through your left leg as you reach your right fingertips out. Press to the knife edge of your foot. 5 breathings. Inhale back to center you go. Exhale, Tadasana at the top of your mat. Okay, yogis, and right away, moving on. Left foot back. Heel to heel alignment. Recommit to the bend on your front leg. Tee out the arms. Deep breath in. And this time, exhale as you twist. Pavrita Parvakotasana. Now, for me, in my body, I prefer to bring my hands to prayer to find that deep twist and feel my elbow on the outside of the knee. Others, the traditional form of doing this posture involves extending the arms. I'm going to find my hands to prayer today. And for those of you at home, if you need to, if your bacula is lifting, you could always do the modification by bringing your left knee to the ground. But today, let's challenge ourselves. Let's see what happens. 5 breathings. So on the inhale, we come back to center. And exhale, you switch sides. Recommit to the bend on the back leg this time. And you twist. Pavrita Parvakotasana. Right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Gaze follows the ceiling. And slowly we come out of that the same way you came in. Breath in. And on the breath out, we find ourselves in Tadasana. Okay, yogis. Now, step your left foot back again. Feet parallel to each other. Once you're there, tee out your arms, take a deep breath in, gaze up. Exhale, you fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands down to the ground. And on this first one, yogis, focus on
shifting the weight forward, right? Use your hands almost to prevent you from falling forward, to really feel that length through the spine. Micro bend through the knees to take pressure off of your low back in this fold. Little tiny bend through the knees is always going to be a good suggestion for any of the postures involving folding onto our legs. That way we're folding, finding length through the hips rather than allowing this bend to happen primarily through the low back, which can accentuate some pain and discomfort in the long term. And then, of course, as you continue to progress in your practice and develop more and more flexibility and mobility, you can begin to extend your legs more and find just more depth in these shapes. Inhale as you rise halfway, and exhale, you rise all the way through. Okay, let's try that again. This time, hands to the hips, yogis. Breath in, gaze up. And breath out. Fold. Padottanasana. This time, keep your hands by your hips. Shift the weight forward. Notice the difference in the feeling of this posture without the support of your hands. 5 breathings. Inhale as you rise all the way through. Now from here, yogis, find your natural breath as you interlace the fingers behind your neck or behind your back. Notice what thumb ended on top, what grip you took. See if you can flip that grip. Just allow different parts of your muscles and your brain to activate here. From there, press your hands down, take a breath in as you lift the gaze. Exhale, you fold. Prasarita Padottanasana C. Relax your head. Allow your hands to lift off from your back as you continue to shift the weight forward towards your toes. You can release your hands. And then inhale, slowly rise. And exhale, release all the way to the top. Okay, yogis. Last one, breath in, gaze up. Exhale. Prasarita Padottanasana D. This time, big toes go to the peace fingers. Bend through the arms. We received a big shoulder opener in the last one, so now we're counteracting that. Expanding the shoulder blades, bending through the elbows as you press your heart closer to the ground. Then one day, the top of your head will reach the floor. That's not today for me. A few more breaths. You release, inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale as you come all the way up. Great job, yogis. Now we transition to facing the front of the room, back to your Tadasana. There you go. Hands by your sides. Okay. Stepping back once again. Left foot back. Find your warrior one stance, heel to heel alignment, hips are squared. And then from here, you're going to take your hands, bring your hands to prayer behind you. Fingertips come together. And again, never forcing yourself into any shape. Find this as best as you can. You could also make a fist. You also just bring the palms to the back, to your low back. But just know that the posture calls for this reverse prayer. Once you find that, the tendency is going to be for the elbows to flare forward. Bring the elbows back. Imagine that I'm in the room with you and I'm gently gliding your elbows back. Right leg is fully extended, left leg is fully extended as you inhale, gaze up. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Parsva, uh, Parsvatvanasana. Refreshing my Sanskrit here. Plug your right hip back, left hip forward. Soft little bend through the knee. Relax the crown of your head, and we take 5 breaths. Now, the importance of this yoga is not postures or the movements, but it's in our capacity to breathe slowly in and out through the nose, maintaining an even count in our breath. That is the path to mastery in this practice of Ashtanga. Steadiness of the breath will create a steadiness of the mind, which over time will allow us to flow even more easily. One more breath in and a breath out. Inhale, slowly begin to rise. And then from here, we switch sides. Now set yourself up, stare at the back of the room. We maintain the hands to prayer behind us. Back heel aligned with the front. Gaze forward, big breath in. Exhale, you fold all the way down. Elbows back. Forehead relaxes. Crown of your head melts towards the ground as you breathe. Inhale, slowly rise, coming all the way up. Facing the front of our mat. And on the exhale, you can release. Beautiful work, yogis. Now, we transition into one of my favorite postures, Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So, to begin, bring your hands to your hips. Lift your left leg. Once you find that, take your peace fingers, and we bring peace fingers onto the big toe of the foot. Find your drishti, point of focus that's not moving or shaking. We take 5 breathings here. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana B. Leg to the side. You can send your gaze towards the right to find your balance. And then we come into C. Back to center. Right foot meets the left. And then gently and with time, you bring your forehead towards your knee. And then D, hands by your hips. Point your toes forward and lift your leg as high as you can. 5 breaths. And release. Shake it out. All right, y'all. Whew, I feel that. I don't know about you, but I feel it. So now we get to switch sides, and we get to do that on the opposite side. So lift your right leg, peace fingers to the big toe on the right foot. And then from here, we extend. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana A. Find your drishti, point of focus, something that's not moving. Move into B. 5 breaths. To C. And D. Keep your leg lifted, point your toes, lift, lift, lift. And release. Okay, great job, yogis. Sending out attention on your mat. Now for this next posture, Ardha Padma, Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana. Now, when we practice with Guruji in Mysore, he recommended to start leaning against the wall. So if you have a challenge with this, please, please, please find a wall and then just lean to get started for the modification. Today, we'll not lean against the wall, but if you need to, just know that you can do this exact same thing against the wall, yeah? Another thing that I will say, yogis, is that we never want to force ourselves or our bodies into any shapes in this practice of yoga. Very important that you're moving at a pace that feels comfortable for you. And that is why at our school, we offer private one-on-one mentorship, where we actually see you live and give you adjustments to make sure that you're staying safe. Because while it's incredible that you're watching this video, it's not the same as having one-on-one guidance. So if you're interested in receiving support from me or one of our teachers in our school, then just send me a message or comment below, and we can help to take care of you to make sure that you're practicing safe. So for this pose, we bring right foot right into the hip crease, yeah? Find this position here. Again, you can be leaning against the wall. Then you're going to take your right hand, and right hand is going to meet the big toe on this opposite side. Now, it takes time to develop the ability to do these things. So never rush into shape. Once you find that connection there, we bring left arm up towards the sky. Now, traditionally, the pose calls for us to fold onto this shape. Today, I'm going to stay here. I'm still new to this practice and specifically to this posture. So I'm just going to take my time and allow my body to slowly get more and more comfortable. About 3 more breathings here. And 5. Gently release. And we can shake it out. Good job. Now we get to do that on the opposite side, yeah? So from here, go ahead and switch sides. We bring left foot into the hip crease on this right side. Once I find that connection there, I slide left hand all the way through to meet the big toe on this side. If that's not happening today, that's okay. Just do the best that you can. From there, right arm goes up towards the sky, and we breathe. Okay, great job. Slowly release. Beautiful work, yogis. So now, finding our Tadasana, hands by your sides. This next part is a great reset for the body for all the work that we've been doing. We're going to find ourselves in our Utkatasana chair pose. Arms overhead, gaze follows. Slight bend through the elbows, pointed to the top of the mat. 5 breathings. release. Beautiful. Now, step your left foot back. Find your Virabhadrasana A, warrior one. Both arms overhead. Recommit, deep bend through that front leg and hold. 5 breaths. Inhale, center, and switch. Opposite side. Virabhadrasana A to the back of your mat. Inhale, center, and exhale, Tadasana at the top of your mat. Okay, now step your left foot back. This time we find our Virabhadrasana B, warrior two. Find that generous bend. Heel to heel alignment. Big bend through that right knee. Very common for some of my students to be here. Today you're bending. Find that deep bend and squeeze the legs together. Really feel yourself engaging with the earth as you reach arms out. Fingertips are not here. We're not here. Strong as you reach. Imagine electricity flowing from your fingertips as you recommit to the bend on that front knee. 4 more breathings. Inhale, center. And exhale, switch sides right away, yogis. Keep your arms extended if you can. 5 breaths. Inhale, center, and release. Beautiful. That concludes our standing series in our primary Ashtanga series. Now we transition onto our seated asanas. So for our seated asanas, let me adjust my camera a little bit lower. Okay, there we go. Hi, seated asanas today. Starting with Dandasana. You find legs fully extended, toes pointed back, hands come down by your sides. And this is it. This is the posture. Hardest asana yet. Pressing the hands down, length to the crown of your head, and we breathe 5 times. Okay. Now from here, yogis, Paschimottanasana A, 5 breathings. Take a breath in as you lift your arms overhead. Exhale, Paschimottanasana. Hinge from your hips. You can bring your big toes or your peace fingers to your big toes. You can also grab and interlace your fingers by your feet. And today we send the gaze towards the toes as we find deep breaths 5 times. Slowly release. From here, hands behind your hips. Purvattanasana, one of my favorite postures. You're going to bring your feet down to the ground, lift your hips up high. If you need to, you can bend your knees to make this more accessible. Otherwise, we lift the legs. And instead of looking back today, look towards the ceiling. This is counteracting all those hours of staring down at your phone, resetting your neck. And release. Good job, yogis. Let's try that again. Paschimottanasana B. Breath in, arms up. And breath out. Hold. This time grabbing the outsides of the feet. 5 breathings. Paschimottanasana B. Use the breath in to rise. And exhale, we release. Coming back into our Parsvottanasana. Lift the chest, lift the hips. Gaze towards the ceiling. Lift your hips a little bit higher. And release. Great job, yogis. Now from here, we cross the legs. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, take a breath in to prepare, gaze through the hands, and on the exhale, jump and find your seat all the way through. Now here, we begin our Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. So here, you're going to bring your left foot in to the hip crease, just like we did earlier. Once you find that, find your bind by sending left hand all the way through, reaching for the big toe on the right foot. Once you find that, we take right hand towards the right foot, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you fold. 5 breathings. Slowly rise and release. We switch sides, yogis. Now we bring right foot to the upper thigh. Left hand slides all the way through. Find your bind. Once I find that left hand meets the left foot, big breath in. And on the exhale, you fold. Slowly rise and release. Now here we're going to bend our legs and once again find your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in to prepare. Exhale, you jump through. Now, moving on to, what is this? Tiryang Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. Tiryang Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. For this pose, you're going to bend your right leg. And you want to find this heel really close to your body. Knees together. Once we find this, length through the spine with the breath in. And exhale, you fold. Hinge from your hips. 5 breathings. slowly rise. And now you switch sides, yogis. Right leg extends, left leg bends, knees together, feet together. Take a deep breath in as you find length through your spine. Exhale as you fold. Hinge from your hips. Lower down. Inhale, you rise. And then you guessed it, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And jump through. Okay. Now, Janushirshasana A. Janushirshasana A, we bring left foot, or it's this right foot, to the inside of the left thigh. You want to face your left foot. Take a breath in as you reach arms overhead. Exhale as you fold. Chin to chest. Melt as you bend your arms. Inhale, you rise. And on the exhale, you switch sides, yogis. Inhale, slowly rise. Exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And let's jump through once again. Now, Pavrita Janushirshasana B. Same medicine. We bring right foot to the inside of the inner thigh. This time, you're going to bring left hand to the inside of the left foot. Right arm comes all the way through, and we're twisting into this shape. So I like to bring my elbow to the inside of my knee, to my leg, to facilitate this twist. It helps to get the hair out of your face. And then we breathe. Okay, and then slowly coming out. And you switch sides. Left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Right hand to the inside of the right leg. And left arm comes all the way through as we twist. And slowly come out. Chaturanga Dandasana. Whew, okay, now we move into Janushirshasana C. Janushirshasana C is it's really tricky. It's really fun. Now, in Janushirshasana C, we're going to bring our heel in, but this time the heel is up and the big toes are down on the ground. Let me do it with this leg so you can see it properly, right? If this is challenging, Then the modification is to simply bring the heel onto what is this? Like your shin bone, yeah? And the toes down and fold in this direction. I find that the modification is almost just as challenging as the full expression of the pose that's shown here. So yogi's choice. I think today I'm going to play with the modification instead. So I'm going to bring my heel over my shin, toes down, breath in, length through the spine, and breath out as I fold. Big, big opening for the inner thigh, for the hips. It's just great if you have really tight hips. And just breathe into that sensation. Great job. And now you switch sides. Left heel over the toes and fold. Okay, we slowly rise. Moving through our chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Jump through. Okay, moving on. Now we have our Marichyasana A. Marichyasana A. You're going to start by bending your right leg. Once you find that inhale as you fold forward, like you're diving into a pool, on the exhale, you wrap your hands around. Find your bind on both sides. Once we're here, gaze goes towards the navel, and we breathe. Slowly come out, and then we switch sides. Breath in, and breath out. Slowly rise, release. And now, one more time. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's try that again. Breath in and breath out. Slide through. Okay, now Marichyasana B. For Marichyasana B, you're going to bring left leg over, left foot over your right thigh. Bend your right knee. Now from there, we breathe in and breath out. Finding the bind in this shape. Slowly release, come out, and then you switch sides. Right foot over the left. Bend your left leg. Inhale, you dive forward. Exhale, you fold. Slowly release, rise, and extend. Chaturanga Dandasana to reset the body. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, heels high. Exhale, jump through all the way. Now, Marishasana C. Marishasana C, we go back to bending the right leg. And this time, you're going to find your bind all the way through by bringing left hand or left arm through the right leg. There's technically a bind here. I'm not at that level yet. So what I like to do is I like to find this bind and hook onto the outside of the leg. Just feel that deep twist. And then maybe I'll send my right hand all the way through. Okay. Then we gently release and we switch sides. Bend through your left leg this time. Find this deep bind. And then maybe you send left leg back. Gaze over the shoulder. Big breath. And a breath out. Okay. Slowly unwind. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And jump through. Okay, yogis. We're almost there, halfway through. Now you're going to bend. Here, we're going to bring, what is this? Left foot again over the right thigh. Bend through your right leg. And then we twist into that shape. And slowly switch sides. Right foot in towards the thigh. Bend your left leg. And then we twist on this side. Okay. And now folding all the way through. Find your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And we jump all the way through. Okay, yogis. Coming towards the last set of postures. Moving into navasana boat pose. Lift the feet. Extend the legs. Hands of prayer overhead and lift your gaze. We hold for 5 breathings. Great job. Hands to the ground. Lolasana, so lift your hips off of the ground as best as you can. And release. Okay. Now, from this pose, find your Malasana yogi squat. We're moving into Bhuja Pindasana. Bhuja Pindasana. Now, this is a pose that I struggle with, so let's see what happens, right? But we're going to bring hands to prayer by the heart. Once you find your big yogi squat, hands come down to the ground. Yeah, so move forward here to demonstrate. And then you're going to bring left foot forward, and you're going to bring your right foot forward. Yeah? And then from here, I'm going to walk my feet together. I'm going to hook my feet and balance on my hands. So once we have this, right foot over the left, and then you breathe. 5 breathings here. Okay. The next variation of this posture would be extending the legs out wide. That is not in my wheelhouse today. So let's move on to Kurmasana. Kurmasana. So for our Kurmasana, legs out wide, hinge from your hips, and you're going to send your hands directly underneath your knees. So we're sliding down, forehead comes down to the floor. 5 breathings in this. And slowly work our way out from the shape. Now, getting back into our Kurmasana, and this time we find a bind. So, Supta Kurmasana. Do the best that you can. Again, for me, this is not something that's in my wheelhouse, but I'm bending my arms and I'm finding this bind as best as I can. And hold here. 5 breathings. To the ground, slowly rise. We find our Chaturanga Dandasana once again. Lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. From there, we hop all the way through and have a seat. Now, yogis, Garbha Pindasana. Garbha Pindasana is only possible if you already have a full lotus, meaning that you can cross your legs on both sides. So if that's not possible for you today, then go ahead and skip that posture. Today, so the posture would involve me sliding my hands all the way through and finding myself in prayer in this position. But today I'm just going to sit in full lotus. Tall spine for 5 breaths. Okay. Now from here, we're moving ahead. I'm going to be skipping some of the postures in the primary series. This primary series requires a lot of cultivation, personal cultivation, and a body that is very open to this practice. So from this Garbha Pandasana, we would roll, right? Imagine my hands through my legs in prayer, rolling all the way around. That's actually part of the posture. And then balancing on my hands. So instead, I'm going to transition. I'm going to skip that, take care of the knees today, and find our Baddha Konasana. Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. Tall spine. And here we're doing 5 breathings. Sitting tall. Big breath in. And exhale, you fold. Hinge forward. Use your elbows to press your knees down. Okay. We transition with a chaturanga, high to low push-up. Okay. Now from here, legs out wide for our Upavishta Konasana. This time, instead of sliding the hands down, I'm going to bring my hands to my big toes or to the outsides of the feet and fold into the shape. 5 breathings. Slowly rise. And from here, we transition into Urdhva Upavishta Konasana. Urdhva Upavishta Konasana. Same position, but now we're elevating the legs off of the ground. So you find the connection with the feet. Maintain your balance on your root and extend the legs. Okay. And from there, Supta Konasana, 5 breathings. So, same thing, I'm going to take my feet, and now I'm going to roll all the way back onto my shoulders, expand through the legs. Coming out of the shape. And once again, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low push-up. Okay. Moving on to Supta Padangusthasana, 5 breathings. Supta Padangusthasana A. So we start first by lowering down. You're going to take both hands onto your left foot. Just extend your right leg and breathe here. From there, we move on to B. Hand to your hip, leg extends all the way to the left. The center you go. And then from here, Supta Padangusthasana C. So, let's see. Bringing the leg all the way as close as you can, chin to chest. And release. Big good morning stretch, reach in opposite directions. And now we switch sides, yogis. Both hands to the right, left leg extends all the way through. Hold here and breathe. then we go into B. Back to center you go. C. Back of the heel, forehead comes all the way towards the knee. Okay. And release. Rock and roll forward and back. And find your Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low yogi push-up. Downward facing dog. And we jump through all the way. Okay. Now, once again, Udayana Padagustasana. Look up. Similar to our navasana. Holding onto my feet, extending the legs and sending the gaze up. 5 breathings. Great spine. Okay, beautiful. From that position, we roll all the way back. Massage your low back, yogis. Great job. Rock and roll forward and back. And now for this last variation, what is this? Ubaya Padagustasana C. We lift the legs and then we fold here. And release. Chaturanga Dandasana once again. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Breath in, heels high. Exhale, we jump through. Now, Supta Pavrita Padagustasana. This one is a lot of fun. So we're going to bring peace fingers onto the big toe. So peace fingers on the right hand with your right foot. Left hand comes down to the thigh. And you're going to bring your arm all the way through. Arm all the way through in the back of your head. And hold this position here. This is the modification. Eventually, you'll be able to bring your foot all the way behind your head. And then we slowly release. And then you switch sides. Big toes. Big toe onto the peace fingers on the right hand. Right arm all the way through to the back of the head. Right leg extends fully. And breathe. And then we slowly come out. Rock and roll forward and back. And now Chaturanga Dandasana. Jumping all the way through. This next pose, Setu Bandhasana. Not recommended if you have neck pain or anything like this. So feel free to skip this. Today we're going to give it a try. We bring head to the top of the mat. Legs are extended, and then we cross the arms. And one, slowly coming out of the shape. Brilliant, yogis. Massage your low back, left and right. Rock and roll forward and back. Finding our Chaturanga Dandasana again. And back down. All the way through. Jump and land. Now, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose. Lowering down. Hands under the shoulders. Feet down to the earth. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, you lift. Gaze down and breathe. And release. All the way down. Hug your knees in towards your body and you massage your low back. Rock and roll forward and back, yogis. Find your seat. Generous bend through the knees and you find your Paschimottanasana once again. Deep lower back breath and slow breath. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have left? Urdhva Padmasana. We're almost done with our class. Urdhva Padmasana. Find your lotus pose. And then from there, we roll back and stack your hips over your shoulders. We roll out, keeping the bend here. Slide down, top of the head comes down to the floor. And 5. Slowly, keep the top of your head on the ground. Extend your legs and the feet. 5 breathings. And release. Rock and roll forward and back 2 to 3 times. Chaturanga Dandasana, one of the last ones of our class today. And we jump all the way through. Now, this is the peak of our class, Shirshasana headstand. So for headstand, I would recommend practicing against a wall so that you stay safe. I would also recommend coming to a live class and getting an adjustment to make sure that you're moving safely with one of our teachers in our Yoga Mārga school. If you want any information, just comment below or click on the link to join our school. And we'll schedule a private one-on-one session to help you. But Shirshasana, headstand, we're going to hold this. Krishnamacharya and the teachings from BNS suggest doing this for 10 breathings. So we're going to give that a try today, holding this headstand for 10 breathings. A couple of things before we get into that. When we get into our headstand, we're going to interlace the fingers behind our neck. Now, I've seen a lot of people practice this where their arms and their hands go way behind their neck and just the tip of their elbows are pressing on the ground and most of the weight is on their head. That is going to be very unsafe. So what you do instead is you bring the knife edge of your hand all the way down to your elbow. We want all of this to be making contact with the ground. And the way we stay upside down is by using our arm as a lever. So if I'm falling too far backwards, I press my hands down. If I'm falling too far forward, I dig my elbows down. So I'm using my arm as a lever, but I want my entire arm to be making contact with the ground. And I want my elbows to not be too flared out, but I want them tight. I want this perfect 90-degree bend. Ideally, the distance between one elbow to the other is the same as my elbow to my fingers, so that we create that perfect triangle shape, which is going to keep us in the most anatomically neutral position possible. Okay, so let's give this a shot. I'm a big fan of getting into these inversions slowly instead of kicking into the shape. So I will talk you through it and then give it a shot at home, see what that feels like. So we begin. Again, imagine there's a wall in front of me. I won't be using a wall today. Interlace your fingers. Bring elbows, hands, top of the head to the ground. Lift your knees. Walk the feet forward. And today, play by just lifting one toe at a time. Once you feel solid there, then keep the knees bent. And we keep the knees bent to find this connection of the core into the shape. And then you play by extending your legs. 10 breathings. I'm slowly going to come out the same way I came in. And release. Beautiful work, yogis. Now, from here we go into our resting posture. Hands by the feet, forehead down to the mat, and rest. Slowly rise. Now we find our tall seat. And let's take 20 breaths. Ujjayi pranayama. yogis. From here, we fold onto this shape. Just 5 breaths this time. Slowly come out of the shape. And in a seat at the top of your mat. And we'll take rest in our Shavasana. Give yourself permission to take up space. When it's time, I will guide us through. Find movement through your fingers and your toes, yogis. As you begin to awaken your body. Arms extend overhead. Big, big stretch. You can rock side to side to massage your spine, and gently we work our way towards the seats on our mat. We'll end today's class by chanting Om together 3 times. 3 times chanting Om. Hands to prayer by your heart, deep breath in. And first, let something go. Ah. Deep breath in to prepare for your chant. Hands to your third eye. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings in all the realms be happy, be free. And today, may our thoughts, our words, and our actions fall into perfect alignment for our collective liberation. We gently bow and give thanks to all of our teachers, all of our guides. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for making time for your practice today. I hope that this was something that was enlivening for you. I hope that this is something that you will save and watch again in the future. And if you'd like to receive more one-on-one guidance from me or from members and teachers of our school, or if you'd simply like to join a community of yogis and practitioners and meditators
that are actively studying and wanting to improve their understanding of yoga, of Buddhism, of mindfulness, and of now Ashtanga yoga, then I want you to join me for this year-long Intro to Ashtanga Yoga series that we're doing at our school. We call it Sunday Sadhana, and we meet together to practice the full primary series. We also do a series of pranayama, mudra, and we go into deep talks about philosophy, anatomy, anything and everything that is yoga. We try to study it to the best of our ability. And in our school, we have mentors as well that come and teach. So if any of that sounds like your vibe, then just click below. There should be a link for you to be able to join our school. And you can always comment any questions or if you need any additional support. Hope you have an excellent day, and we will see you very, very soon. Ciao, ciao.